How I would book SummerSlam 2023 is the video today here on SCW. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now, leave any comments in the comments section. Please like and share the video as well. The first half of this video is probably more prediction based as well, matches that I think will actually happen. As we get to the latter part of this video though, full fantasy booking on pretty much matches that I would throw together for SummerSlam and how I'd like to see them play out. So without further ado, let's kick things off with Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. It makes sense, doesn't it? Jey Uso pinning Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank in the Bloodline Civil War. Roman Reigns has finally been pinned after 3.5 years. Who else could challenge Roman Reigns at this point? There's so much storytelling that could be played into this. This story can literally go full circle after this is where it started for the head of the table against Jey Uso 3 years ago in the pandemic era, of course, during 2020. But of course, Jey Uso, main event Jey, has come a long way since then. He's got Jimmy watching his back. And what will be the role of Solo Sikoa? Doubt in Solo's mind that Roman couldn't get the job done? Will he go on Jey's side? Or will Roman even blame Solo for defeat at Money in the Bank? After all, where was Solo when Roman took the pinfall? Of course, Solo had gone through an announcer's table. But yeah, it's interesting to see how the story's going to play out. But Roman versus Jey makes the most sense for that main event spot. In a rematch from Money in the Bank, I would have Seth Freakin Rollins against Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. This time though, Damian Priest will be barred from ringside. Finn Balor could blame Damian Priest for that loss at Money in the Bank. That slight distraction was enough for Seth to retain. I don't want to see the breakup of Judgment Day happen just yet. I'd like that to linger on if they're going to do an eventual breakup. Damian Priest could say, look, I won't be at ringside this time, but just keep in mind, Finn, you've got to get the job done, because if you don't, maybe I'll have to clean up the mess for you and I'll cash in Money in the Bank. Next, let's talk about Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. The trilogy will have a stipulation to close this rivalry off as well. I'm going with a bull rope match with a cowbell in the middle. Both superstars will have rope wrapped around their wrist, and of course they can't escape one another. You could do pinfall, submission, or you can touch all four corners of the ring, depending on what stipulation WWE wants to do. For me, it's a fun throwback. Both are meant to be cowboys, meant to be that kind of way. So I kind of think it's a fun stipulation you could throw into this match, and I think Cody could overcome the odds and defeat Brock Lesnar, and he can get back to wanting to finishing that story. For the WWE Women's Championship, I've got a triple threat match. Asuka defending against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Charlotte cutting the line from Bianca when Bianca was supposed to get the rematch. Of course, Bianca interrupted that match in London, costing Charlotte and Asuka a clean finish in that match, taking both ladies out at ringside. It only makes sense to book a triple threat match for these three ladies at SummerSlam. Bianca perhaps even could cut the queue herself now, as she seems to be going slightly towards a more heelish role, maybe to get the match against Asuka. Charlotte could intervene that. They could even perhaps even want to tease a Bianca versus Charlotte match, although I would save that program until after SummerSlam, as I would have Asuka retaining. Next, let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther is looking to break that record with a mighty challenge in front of him. Drew McIntyre returning at Money in the Bank, hitting Gunther with a Claymore and holding up that IC title. The IC title feels the most important it's done for about 30 years in my personal opinion. Gunther is getting closer and closer to breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record, and what a name to have on the resume of Drew McIntyre if he was to do so. I know Drew was involved at the triple threat match at WrestleMania along with Sheamus, but to beat Drew one-on-one would still be an incredible notch on Gunther's belt at this point, as I'm sure when he does eventually drop that IC title, he'll be heading towards the main event and the World Heavyweight Championship. Next, let's talk about a grudge match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I would love it in a fight pit, by the way, but I don't think we'd get that. Shayna Baszler attacking Ronda Rousey in the Women's Tag Team Championship match against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, imploding that team, imploding the championship run of Shayna and Ronda, and of course Ronda, well, basically being knocked out in the Kikuta Clutch by Shayna Baszler, which left her as victim to Liv and Raquel. I'm interested to know what the explanation is going to be. Is it the fact that Shayna has always been the star of the two? Is Ronda holding her back? I'm not quite sure, but whatever it is, I'm excited for this match. I'm looking forward to it as it will play down, and honestly, I didn't see it coming, so for me, I think this is a shoo-in match for SummerSlam. Next, I've gone with a rivalry and the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley to defend in a triple threat match against Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. I think that it seems safe to say that Becky versus Trish will continue through SummerSlam. I can't think of a good challenger for Rhea Ripley at this point, and Becky, well, has been teasing a long-term feud with Rhea Ripley going forward. So what they could do is they could do the triple threat match here. Rhea could get through this. We could then have Payback, where Becky and Trish blow off their rivalry, and then we can return to Becky versus Rhea either towards the end of the year going into perhaps Royal Rumble season, or they will hold off until WrestleMania next year. But for me personally, I would like to see this as a triple threat match. I'm enjoying the Becky versus Trish feud. I wouldn't mind it going all the way to Payback, but I wouldn't be surprised if WWE simply went with Becky versus Trish as well. Let's go into the fantasy booking portion of this video then, shall we? Let's go with Austin Theory versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. You've got to do something with LA Knight. He's so over right now, and if he's not going to win Money in the Bank, I think a sensible move for him, rather than going towards the main event, would be to win a mid-card championship. You see what it's done for Gunther over the last 12 months. See what it could do for LA Knight. He's got so many comparisons to the likes of Steve Austin and The Rock. Both had fantastic reigns as Intercontinental Champion before going towards the big time. So a US title run could be just what LA Knight needs. And Austin Theory, although a great competitor, a great performer, his championship run has been a bit lackluster in recent months, so a change could be a good idea. I would also do Ricochet versus Logan Paul, mainly because Logan Paul and Ricochet seem to have viral moments at the moment. They had it at the Royal Rumble, they had a very dangerous looking table spot at Money in the Bank, so why not do a match? Two high flyers just going at it in the ring. I think this could be something to do a lot for Ricochet, and I think as well could do another viral moment. Doesn't need to be the longest match on the show, and to be fair, I think Logan Paul could pick up a victory here because he's had a few losses as of late in WWE. Last but not least, and I can tell you I'm really fantasy booking on this one, if Randy Orton really is returning to WWE in the very near future, he was rumoured for Money in the Bank, he's been rumoured before SummerSlam as well, I would like to see RK Bro challenge for the Unified Tag Team Championships against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Two top babyface tag teams. Yes, you've not got face versus heel, but it's better than heel versus heel. We've seen face versus face before, and I wouldn't mind seeing what side of the fans would be siding with in this match. I think it would be split 50-50. For me, KO and Sami, this would be the biggest challenge for them so far in their title reign as well. I personally would have them going over, and then you could have heel Randy Orton turning on Matt Riddle, and you could start a program with them going forward afterwards. So that's how I would book SummerSlam 2023. Let me know how you would book SummerSlam in the comments below. What matches you would like to see, what stipulations you would add. Add some winners and losers as well if you'd like. If you've enjoyed the video, then please do hit the like button, share with a friend as well, subscribe to SCW, and keep an eye out for more videos that we're dropping in the week. Thank you for watching. As always, look after yourselves and each other. You've been watching SCW here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.